Hi, it's Malcolm from Aquaspray. I was asked in one of the comments in a previous video whether I could change the old style electric box for the new style electric box. Let's have a go. So eventually I think these will be sort of discontinued at some point, and it'll all be the new style electric box. But people ask me what's the difference between the 10122 standard machine and the 10122 now that there's 2001 model. 2020 model as was, and there is no difference whatsoever apart from this plastic box. So just to prove that everything should work, and you shouldn't need any other wires or anything like that, you just got to make sure you don't lose all the screws. You're going to need them for the box. This is the standard machine, so you would get another set of wires for the micro switch on the automatic version, which we don't have here. The main thing is just to take all this off for now. So now all the electric box is free. You will need to take the earth away, which we'll do that. I need to just disconnect the wires and cables. Start unscrewing this now. The switch can be a little bit tricky depending on how old it is, but the idea is just to click little grips in and lift it up. And once you get it this far, you would get your phone and take a picture of it. This one is brown to black, red to blue. So I know which way they go. So first things first, I'll put that switch in while I've got that off. So just simply just unscrew the switch cover. Just pop that out from the back. Like so, and then you've got the 1 and the 0, and that would just click in, and then the cover over the top, and we can screw that back down. Screwing these down, you don't want to trap the rubber underneath here, but that's so far so good. Just got to get that mains cable out. Now I should just be able to unscrew. So the mains cable's out. Should be able to just pass this through the back, making it right. That's the wiki box on. Should just be able to unscrew this capacitor, and then this box should be free then. So take the motor wires out of this one. So we've got a red and a white wire, and that's that done, out of the way. The capacitor, put it in that way. With a screw in there. So we'll have to put the earth through into the housing, into that screw there. Apart from that, we're pretty much nearly ready. So let's try and get that screw in into this. So a nice good tight earth bond, and this is where you find out whether the rest of the wires will reach, and yes they will. Oh no they won't. Oh yeah they will. They are very stretched. So I'm not quite sure I would recommend this. Probably would be better having a little bit longer. Let's see if I've got one. Yeah, so what will probably be better doing is adding a connector block to it, the motor wires into the connector block, and then out of the connector block to the actual switch. That'll be the best way to do it. So it's just extending that cable a little bit. I'm going to see if it will work without doing it. So the motor wires must be a little bit longer on the new machines. Or an extra piece of wire. And the screw that doesn't want to go in. So just the wires now for the capacitor. There's the wires in capacitor. So apart from these being really stretched, which I am just going to see if it will work before anything else. Something's not quite right with that. Could be just the wires under the capacitor. Let's try and move that a little bit. They should be the same screws. Which they are. It's just that capacitor's a little bit too tight. So the capacitor's sitting here because the wires from the motor are onto the switch a little bit too taut. So I will, once I finish this, I'll make sure the wires go into here first and then out of here to the switch, and that'll give it enough place so that the capacitor can sit a little bit lower, and then all these screws then will catch nicely without having to force it down. But I will, I make sure it works. Yeah, it works. So yeah, just neaten them wires up and then you'll be able to use this, not a problem. One thing you would have to do, or I would certainly do, is make sure that the serial plate would go into this cutout here. You can peel these off. This is what a lot of people would do if the electric box was broken and they had to replace it. But normally when you take these off, they don't stick on very well. And when you do get them on, they don't stick on very well. There's an old machine with a new electric box on it. You would always be able to tell if you ever get stuck or you didn't know, with this serial number, be able to tell you exactly how old it is. So if you got the serial number and then found out it was 2019, you would know that this has been put on afterwards. As it happens, it works.